It's Wednesday, so time for a midweek analysis. So let's see what how most of the setups are turning out at the middle of the week. And I'm talking about, of course, the setups we discussed in the weekend and every Saturday, the weekly Forex analysis. Before we start, I want to ask you one thing. And that is, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Comment what you think about this video, your own ideas, or maybe some questions you have for me, and I will try to integrate the answers to those questions in the following videos. Thank you. So let's get into it right away. Yes, euro dollar is one of the things we pointed out. We were in this downtrend, then we broke up, and this went up for a while, and then last week we came back and we broke this previous support, and the idea was that a retest of this support area would happen before further continuation to the downside. So let's zoom into the 4-hour chart, and that is actually what is happening at the moment. We are in this level, back in this level. And right now the retest is actually going on. If you zoom in for a little bit to the 1-hour chart, you can see that at the moment it's to me it's too early. I can imagine that people jumped this trade maybe from this point out, that this is the retest, and we are already shifting and moving lower. Yeah, well, it's a decent setup if you ask me. And of course, right now this is quite an obvious level where price is reacting again. So let's see if the structure remains the same. So if this indeed is the top, and this is some kind of a double top on the hourly chart, and we are now breaking through this resistance level, retesting it, and continuing. This is kind of a, it's not a head and shoulder, but this is kind of a neckline level here. I would personally, would like to see a break of this level to get real confirmation, but maybe that's a bit too conservative. I think we are at the moment, of course, this looks kind of bearish. So the correction on the 4-hour chart seems to be over, and maybe we are getting some more momentum to continue to move lower. So that could be an interesting one. US dollar Swiss franc is another one we did last weekend. We talked about last weekend, and I think it was, yes, it was the range setup. It's in the middle of the range, so at the moment I'm still not trading this, only taking shorts from the top or going long from the bottom. So at the moment this is kind of what it is. Not my setup. Yes, well, I can zoom in a little bit to think, you know, a lot of times people are trading certain markets, and after a video they ask me, okay, well, it's not the ideal time to get into this trade, but I am in the trade, so what do you think about it? Well, I think about it at the moment that this is not the best trade to be in, to be honest. But if you really want to trade this, of course, you know, this was resistance got broken, and we are closing above that resistance. So in terms of that, yes, of course, you know, I would be bullish more than bearish, and of course to re-enter this market, a small pullback into this trend line on the hourly chart would be a moment I would consider to come back to. So not the ideal setup to me. So let's just the first one was better if you ask me. This one, yeah, we broke through this this level. I you know, a little bit further into this trend line would be preferable if you ask me, but it's like the euro dollar, this is the Australian dollar. We are seeing kind of the same thing. So the corrective structure to the upside is kind of done. We broke lower, we broke support, we broke the trend line. So overall I'm more bearish than bullish on this one, but again, this is kind of, you know, in the middle of things. So it's not really that the dollar pairs are my favorite. This is range bound at the moment, but there is some serious room to the upside. So if this does continue to move to the upside, then I would stay in to the upside. So I would stay in long. So this trading idea is still on the table. Yes, but we do need some momentum for this to break through this resistance level and really start moving in that direction. Yeah, that's it for now for this one. US dollar, Canadian dollar, it is already happening. It's a little bit more room to the upside, and then my profit my take profit target will get hit, and I'm out of this trade. And after that, I will look for new setups. So I know a lot of you got the same one, so good luck with that. This has been moving to the upside, a strong move, strong correction, another strong move, and now things are getting a little bit more weak. Some smaller corrections and also some smaller follow through or push throughs. So yes, I'm not really looking at this at the moment that I want to re-enter or anything. Actually, I am looking at this because it's kind of starting to look like, I think we got ourselves a head and shoulder pattern on the 4-hour chart with a shoulder area, another shoulder area. Yeah, this is kind of turning to the downside. This was kind of a fake out, but this is right now, yeah, I think corrective structure. Like we see on a lot of dollar pairs, the dollar index is getting a bit stronger. So we see that the dollar index got weaker, and all the time it got weaker. We had this rally, and now that it's getting stronger. We see a reversal pattern emerging in this pair. This was not really there last weekend, so I think this is something different to point out. And notice that all the dollar pairs are turning around a little bit. Let me show you what I mean by the dollar index. That is probably the cause of it. We had this rally to the downside, so a corrective structure in the US dollar index. So it's the US dollar strength or weakness or whatever you want to call it. We came to the downside of this channel where price is moving in all the time, and now we broke out of this downward moving channel. We broke the trend line, we broke this resistance area, and now coming down for a correction. And I think this is the beginning of further upside movement, and that is also a continuation of all the moves we are seeing on the pair. So we have quite some reversals when it comes to the US dollar. So okay, well, I think I showed this one on the chart as well. We are seeing a retest of the level indeed. I pointed it out. I leave most of my things, I leave it on the charts. This was the first idea. The second idea was to keep a trade on and take profits up here, and the second one was take profits up here. Well, we never had an opportunity to run up here, and then this correction came. So just to show you the idea of this initial setup, and now it's not valid anymore. So sooner or later I'm going to remove it because it's not going to add any information for you who are following these videos. It's just a little bit, can be a bit distracting. Yes, so we had the sell-off, huge sell-off by the way, and then we came back into this resistance. This one is my favorite chart for the middle of the week. Let me see what is happening on a lower time frame. Yes, very interesting at this level. So as long as we are trading below this level, that's great. And I want to see this low here of this pin bar getting taken out, and then we are ready to go. So let me see if we can pinpoint that entry a little bit on a lower time frame. Yeah, same thing. If this is up until here still a pullback, but if we do manage to form a top here and break this one, even more conservative and more safe would be that a break gets retested and then we go further. But it all depends on your entry. Oh, wait a minute. Seconds is a bit. It's a bit low. Okay, this is the 15-minute chart where we are seeing, if you really want to get into an early entry, this is still a bullish structure on the 15. So if we can get a pullback, maybe double top pattern over here, and then you get in, you can of course, if this is starting to make lower lows and lower highs on the 15-minute chart, that could be a level to enter the market. Doesn't matter what time frame you pick to get your entry from here, because on the bigger time frame, and in this case it is the daily time frame, this one, yes, one of my #1 favorites. So yeah, Euros, Great British Pound, nothing is really happening here. It's just a bottom, huge demand zone here, and Okay, no, nothing here. Oh yeah, that's what I wanna point out. All the pound related pairs are still for this the fourth week I think in consolidation. Great for range trading, terrible for trend trading. So make sure you understand what the condition is, what the current price movement is in these markets. It's not always terrible because this is the daily chart and we are slowly grinding to the right, sideways moving market, but sooner or later price is gonna run into this support level like it did quite often, and also gonna run into this trend line, and then we have a 1-2 combination uppercutting this this price probably to the upside. So it took a very long time, but sooner or later we're gonna come into this thing here, and then things could start moving. I have to think a little bit. Swiss franc, a lot of consolidation. British pound, a lot of consolidation. To sum up in this video, dollar related pairs, a lot of them are in reversal structures. That in combination with the dollar index is actually pointing out that those reversals are getting momentum at the moment and are really happening. So reversals are great moments to get into the market and really start moving. One more thing I want to finish this video with is kind of non-forex related actually, and that is, for example, let's take a look here at the Nasdaq. We had this huge rally, and when we zoom in a little bit, we are just taking a breather here, so it's not that obvious on the Nasdaq. But for example, I often trade, I'm from Europe as you may know, and I often trade these the indices in Europe. This is the France index. It's way too early to say this is going to be a reversal or whatever, but yes, we are starting to see this round formation here, where we are likely to see that some indexes are going into a corrective move, if this is not correction yet. So okay, this is the first reversal actually from here on out to go back up. I'm personally looking for shorts, so if price runs into this level over here, that could be an interesting short level. But the whole point I want to make is indices, I day trade them a little bit, are at the moment kind of reversing. So interesting to be looking out for what will happen over here. So that's it for now. More on the indices in another video. I think that's a good thing. And I'll use as a thumbnail for the video, I'll use the Euro Swiss franc, because that is by far the best setup at the moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.